So this will be the fourth installment on my KTM build with the goal of improving visibility at night. I tried 3 different headlight options. One was pretty cheap while the other 2 were pretty expensive. In this episode, I'm going through and testing all 3 of them. The first thing I tried was an LED bulb that fits in the stock housing. It was made by Cyclops and was the cheapest option by far at around $90. It was easy to install and it definitely helped a little, but for me it was more of a small improvement than my end goal. If you're just looking for a cheaper, simple upgrade, it makes sense, but I continued with the next option. So the next option I tried was the XL Pro Headlight Kit from Baja Designs. This was a much bigger upgrade, a full headlight housing 4 LEDs, and the price reflected that. The installation was also pretty confusing because I wasn't able to find any instructions at the time. The kits actually ship unpinned since connector placement can vary by KTM model and generation. So unfortunately I needed to bust out the multimeter to verify the wiring configuration. So I verified my wiring harness by measuring the voltage between the different wires with the bike powered on, which should read about 12 volts. On my bike, I determined that the brown wire was my negative, while blue and green were positive depending on the high beam switch position. With it all verified, I pinned up the red connector in the Baja kit and connected the ground before hooking it up to test. What I did like about it was the ability to completely kill the headlight with the high beam switch due to no low beam, but I didn't like the blue high beam indicator on the dash always being lit. The headlight worked great and looked pretty bright, but when I took it for a test ride at night, I noticed some issues. The main issue though was that the beam was aimed too high, and there wasn't really a simple way to adjust it. I'm sure you could rig something up to aim it a little better, but the next option is pretty comparable in price and looked to offer more. So the third option is the MotoMinded KTM LED Kit, which uses the Baja Designs Epic Squadron Pro and S2 combo. This kit is very straightforward, it's completely plug and play, and it offers much better adjustability. The actual headlights come in what looks like a partially 3D printed mount. I found you could keep the mounts tight enough so the lights didn't move when riding, but you could still adjust the angle by hand. With the low beam, only the top 2 LEDs are on, while the high beam uses all 6. I found it works great on super dark roads and trails, and helps keep you more visible when city riding. It lights up a pretty large area in front of the bike, which is especially helpful when maneuvering off-road and at lower speeds. So overall, after trying each option, I think if you're just looking for a cheap improvement over the stock headlight, the LED bulb should be suitable. Next, I think the Baja XL Pro is definitely bright enough and could be plenty good if you take the time to adjust it properly. However, with the retail price only about $30 less than the MotoMinded kit, I don't think it's worth it. The MotoMinded kit offers the most light with 6 LEDs across the 2 housings, which work independently for high and low beams. The kit also offers the best adjustability, allowing you to aim both housings easily and independently. And finally, the light just looks pretty sick and has a cleaner, more flush fit in the headlight mask. The MotoMinded headlight really gave me the best visibility I could ask for, short of rigging up some gnarly off-road rally lights. That's it for this episode. The next things I have planned for my KTM build involve removing the emissions canister junk, as well as installing and testing the auto tuner with the power commander. I'm also planning to get a steering dampener soon, so I'm pretty excited for that. But in the meantime, I'll be uploading some fun KTM or Squadron rides.